Hey guys, this is Dr. Ram Crespo, and welcome to my channel, Over the Hill Fitness. I've been wanting to start this channel for at least the last 5 years. I wanted to start this channel for two reasons. The first one was to hold myself accountable. So you see, I have been obese or overweight for the majority of my life. I remember in my childhood, in elementary, I was that one kid that wore the husky pants. So those of y'all that know, those were the pants that had the elastic waistband. So those of you that know, well, you know. Also, when I was in elementary school, my mom even put me on a diet, even called the cafeteria manager and told them to only serve me vegetables during school. And so my friends would make fun of me all the time. I would get in line and the lady would say, "Oh, your mom called and you're only supposed to have veggies. Do you want some extra veggies?" And I would be like, okay. And my friends were like, "What is going on? Why are you eating just vegetables while they're eating chicken fried steaks and chicken nuggets and burgers and all those great things?" So my friends, they still talk about that to this day. So I slimmed down as I started playing school sports, like in junior high and in high school. And I was put on the offensive line and defensive line in football. And for those of y'all that played football or follow football, you know what I mean. And I was put on there because of my size, my weight, my strength. And so, through high school, I probably averaged around 195 pounds. So I did slim down. I was in good shape. I was very athletic, but I had to gain weight. I tried to gain weight when I was in high school because I was going up against guys twice my size. And so I'd work out all the time and pretty much eat what I wanted. My metabolism was great back then. It's not like it is now, how I miss those days. But no matter what I did, all the workouts I did, all the food that I ate, I could not get over 195 pounds. So that was pretty hard going through high school football and going up against these big guys on the line. But that's where they put me, and that's what I was doing throughout that time. After high school, I attempted to walk on the college football team my freshman year and even stacked up to about 225 pounds of pure muscle. But an accident the fall semester of my freshman year derailed my athletic dreams and ambitions and changed the course of my future forever. And I'll talk about that accident a little later in this video. After college, my weight just kept rising. I tried everything, different diets, portion control, exercising every day, joining workout groups, watching my calories, my macros, you name it. I was on a yo-yo diet after another, losing and gaining weight over and over again. Sometimes I would gain it all back and then some. I knew how to lose the weight. I just couldn't sustain it. I couldn't keep it off. And I kept going back to my old bad habits. The second reason I started this page was to help others who were experiencing the same issues I was dealing with their health goals, their weight loss goals in their life. And I called it Over the Hill Fitness because of my age and how I initially wanted it to be a page to help those that were 40 or over, with their health goals and, trying to eat right and exercise right because, older people just have a little different need than the younger people who are also staying in shape. But remember, I created this page almost 5 years ago. And I did it on both YouTube and I did it on Instagram. And I never got an opportunity to actually put it on YouTube because I could never find anything that was sustainable or sustainable program to share with the world. I did post a few things on Instagram, some recipes, some meal prep stuff, different exercise program that I did. I even did plant-based diet, but I stopped doing that after I gained everything back and then some. I have been on the Optavia 5-in-1 plan for the last 7 weeks, and I have been so blown away by this program and how it is helping me with my weight loss goals and achieving my weight loss transformation. I also became a coach in the program to help others achieve their weight loss goals as well. So I've lost 44 pounds in this program so far, and I haven't had to exercise not one day. So nothing against exercising, but right now my health goals are trying to get to the weight that I want to get to, and then we'll work on building muscle and all of that, because I've done all that. The working out, like I said earlier, the eating right, the portion control, and that didn't work for me. But this program has been sustainable thus far. And those in the community have shown me that they can sustain this weight loss for years and years to come, and just changing your lifestyle. So if you are interested or curious about the Optavia plan, or just starting your health goal or your weight loss program, I'm going to leave more information about Optavia and the program down below in the descriptions, and feel free to reach out and ask any questions that you may have about the program. If you are not familiar with the Optavia 5-in-1 plan, basically you eat 5 fuelings a day that come in your Optavia box monthly, and you have 1 lean and green that you prepare on your own in each day. And then you have your fuelings, and your lean and greens are spaced out in 2 to 3 hour increments. And that is what brings us into optimal weight during your optimal health phase. So welcome to my channel, Over the Hill Fitness, and please remember to like this video and go ahead and subscribe so you can watch future content about my weight loss journey, and just follow me along as we do great things with health and weight loss. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this first video with an About Me tag so you can learn a little bit more about me while I answer a few questions about me. First question: where did you grow up? Well, I initially was born in Queens, New York. I spent the early years of my childhood in New York, but then moved to Texas in the Houston area, and spent the rest of my years in the Houston area and some suburbs around the Houston area. And I'm currently still in the Houston area in a small town called Brookshire, just a little suburb outside of Houston, about 2 or 3 minutes away from Katy, Texas. So those of y'all that know about Katy, go Katy. Next question: dogs or cats? Well, honestly, I am a cat guy. I love cats. I grew up with cats, and the reason I love cats is because they are so independent. All you got to do is feed them, pet them, and they're fine. And they go and do their thing. They don't really bother you. They just do their own thing, super independent. Dogs, I do have some dogs right now, but dogs, I know people love dogs, but for me, dogs are just extra work. It's like having another kid, and you're just having to constantly take care of them and watch them and raise them. But since I was married, my wife made me get rid of the 2 cats that I had, and I haven't had a cat since, but hopefully one day I'll be able to get another cat, but cats are what I prefer. Next question: are you in or have you gone to college? So yes, I attended the University of Houston for my bachelor's, and that was in kinesiology with a minor in Spanish. Later, I obtained my master's in education to become an administrator, a school administrator, and then later I obtained my educational doctorate in administration and supervision, and I have been a school administrator for the last 18 years, 27 years total in the education career, and love it every single day. Next question is: what is your favorite drink? So I don't know about people up north, but here in the South, we love Dr. Pepper. It is like liquid gold. So Dr. Pepper is my favorite, followed by Mountain Dew, and all of those are super fattening drinks, which I don't drink anymore, but those are the drinks that I loved when I was through my other phase in life, but at this time I'm not currently drinking those. Next question is tea or coffee? So if we're dealing with hot drinks, neither. I don't like hot drinks. I don't even like hot cocoa. I just don't like hot liquid coming in my body. But I did drink a lot of iced tea, sweet tea, especially here in Texas. Sweet tea is another liquid gold here in Texas. In regards to coffee, I know I should love coffee as my family is Colombian, and the café con leche is super rico. But coffee is just not my thing. Once again, it's a hot liquid, hot drink. I do not like hot drinks. I remember my first year in teaching, the first week of school that I came into the educational field as a teacher. I tried to be an adult and drink coffee like all the other teachers. Went to the teacher's lounge and I would fix my coffee and I'd put all the little creamers in there, all the different flavors. And I tried. Lasted a whole 5 days. And I said, no, I cannot stand coffee. I do not want that hot drink in me, and didn't drink it again. Next question, what are your life goals? Now, I've accomplished a lot of things in my life, in my career, my family. We've done a lot of great things and accomplished a whole lot with the thanks of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But currently, my life goals are what I talked about earlier, my health goals, and getting to that optimal weight so I can be here longer. I want to extend my life. I want to extend the years in my life. I want to be here for my children and my wife. I want to be here for my grandchildren. I don't have any yet, and I don't plan on having any anytime soon. But hopefully, when I do, I can be here to see them grow up and have their children and so on. But I do want to extend my life, and that is my life goal at this moment. Next question, what sports do you play? As I talked about previously, I was a football player. Went through college, had that accident. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I even ended up being a football coach for many years. Loved that. And I dabbed in pretty much every sport since then. Basketball, soccer, weightlifting, doing some tennis here and there, racquetball, some golf here and there. I think I play golf maybe about twice a year. But I try to stay active, and I know the older we get, the harder things are. But I will refuse to say that I'm too old to be able to participate in sports, because I'm an athlete. I'm an ex-athlete. I'm a current health coach, and I've been a coach. I have a major in kinesiology, so athletics and sports, that is my life. So I'm constantly active with those activities, and every year I know we always do a faculty versus student game, so definitely have to be in there. I see a lot of educators and administrators my age or a little older that they've stopped playing in those games, if they ever did, but I will never ever stop playing in those games as long as I'm walking. So my wife always tells me, hey, you need to calm down. You don't want to get hurt. You're too old for that. I said, no, I will never ever believe that. I don't care if I'm limping all the way through, but I will continue playing those because that's what I love to do. Next question is, what is your favorite movie? God, I love movies, so I have so many of them. And I love the classics, at least the 80s classics. And I've introduced those to my children, and they love the 80s classics. But I do love, biography type movies, true story movies, anything dealing with real life and just learning how things happened, why things are the way they are, a little bit of a history buff here and there, but definitely those true stories or biography movies. I love movies about, strong and powerful educators that accomplished great things. Those great movies like Lean on Me, Stand and Deliver, Coach Carter, all the different education movies. There's so many of them out there. If you want to recommend a few that I haven't seen, possibly just leave those in the comments. But I've seen just about every one of them. Those are my favorite types of movies. Next question is, who are your favorite YouTubers? I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube. I do keep up with a couple of people. I do like to watch TED Talks, anything education related. Principal Kafele, for those of y'all that are in education, love his leadership. YouTube videos. I have fitness, some fitness ones like Bricks Fitness. Love his health journey and his weight loss journey. and anything related to the New York Giants. So go Giants, go Big Blue. Really hoping that the Eagles do not win today, but yeah, definitely go Giants. And then recently been looking up some of my fellow Optavia coaches and members, looking at their fueling hacks and different recipes that they've been making. One particular, Ashley Kisner. So if you're interested in the Optavia program and looking for some cool recipes and fueling hacks, that's a cool YouTuber, excuse me, to look into. Next question is, do you speak any other languages and how well? So yes, I also speak Spanish. Remember, I am part Colombian and Ecuadorian, Colombiano Ecuatoriano. Pretty much that was my first language. Spanish was my first language growing up, and then getting into the school system, moved into English, and I also became a Spanish teacher. So si hablo español muy bien, era maestro de español. So really love the language, really love the culture, love my Latinos out there. So where are all my Latinos? You know, love you guys and love the culture and love contributing to the society and community of the Latin culture. Next question is, are you single or taken? Definitely taken. I've been married to my beautiful wife, Daisy, for the last 22 years. Has been a great adventure so far, and hoping for many, many more years together. She is also on this weight loss journey with me and accomplishing her health goals as well. So you'll see her on this channel in the future, on a couple of videos in the future, as she is also wanting to share her story. Next question is, what is your go-to hairstyle? Actually, back in the days, back in the mullet days, I used to have great hair. I used to take care of my hair every single day. And as I got a little older, I kept seeing this hairline receding. And, in the mirror lies to you, and it shows you one thing. And then after I took a picture, I was looking at it one day and I was like, what is going on with my hair? And so I couldn't have that. I always promised myself if I ever start losing hair that I would just go bald. And I went to the barber the next day and I just closed my eyes and I just do zero all the way across. I don't know what was under that. I know how my face or my head was shaped. And he went ahead and did the zero, and I opened my eyes and it was like, not bad. My head is decently round. I don't have a whole lot of curves or marks or this and that. So I've been bald and sexy for the last 20 or so years. Next question is, what are your morning and evening routines? Well, currently, my morning routine is to prepare our healthy fueling for me and my wife in the morning, then packing up our fuelings for the day, and then I head to work over at my school. And the evening routines is preparing that lean and green that you will learn more about throughout my channel. But those are great recipes that are healthy and delicious. And my wife, she hadn't made one lean and green yet, but she says, "Oh, you're my professional cook." And I've enjoyed it. I used to cook a little bit, not a whole lot, but now I cook every single night just to make sure that we're reaching our health goals with those lean and green recipes that the community offers and that the program offers. Instructions on how to do are super delicious, and you just can't believe that they're healthy. But also, spending time with our kids. They're both out of the house, so we are empty nesters now, but spending time with them, reaching out to them, spending time with our friends and other family members. Those are our evening routines. Next question is, do you have any bad habits? I used to have a lot of bad habits, especially when it came to eating, because I loved some Whataburger. I loved me some Taco Bell or anything that was fast and easy. But I'm working on those habits and making better habits and healthy habits. My wife says my bad habits is not listening. So maybe, I don't know. But that's what she tells me. You just don't listen to me. But now I'm working on that as well, because I love you, babe. And I always want to make sure that I'm listening to you and meeting your goals and needs. Last question is, tell us something about you that we wouldn't know. So like I talked about previously, I would tell you about the accident that changed the course of my future. All my life, my mom was always telling me and my brother, you're going to be professionals, you're going to go to college. So going to college and having a career was never a question. We always knew we were going. We just didn't always know where we were going or what we were going to major in or what our professional careers would be. My mom would always say, well, you're going to be a doctor. You're smart and you're going to be a doctor. And she suffered from epilepsy, so she wanted me to be a neurologist to come up with a cure, discover a cure for epilepsy. So that was what I thought, pretty much going through high school and starting college, that's what I was going to do. But then, like I previously stated, my freshman year, the fall semester of my freshman year, I had a very tragic accident. Me and a buddy of mine were running across the street and we weren't looking, and we got hit by an 18-wheeler. My buddy passed away from that accident, and I was in the hospital for about 3 months. I was in a coma. In the beginning, I had broke my femur bone in half. I had brain trauma from the impact. I couldn't think right, and when I got out of the coma, I would see people coming to visit me. I didn't recognize them. They'd say, "Remember me?" and I wouldn't remember them. And my mom would even come in, "Hey, remember me?" and I would remember her. I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "What's my name?" I said, "Your name is Mom." "Well, what's my real name?" And I was like, I don't remember. Or they would say, "What's 2 times 2?" And I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And eventually I regained my memory, and I was able to go through rehab and physical therapy, and I couldn't walk when I got out of the hospital, and missed my whole freshman year. I was medically withdrawn from all of my classes. I lost my buddy in that accident. We were friends since 5th grade, and we were talking about, getting together and at a college together and possibly playing football against each other, but never got an opportunity to live those particular dreams. But when I got out of the hospital, the doctor told me, "Hey, I know you're talking about going back to school this summer. Just take one class. You don't know how your brain is going to react, and just see how you do." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "One thing I learned when I got out of the hospital was I knew what I was capable of. I knew what I could do. I knew how I could think. I even went into outpatient therapy, and they were doing some exercise for me to help me learn how to move again, how to walk again. And some of the exercises were just very, very simple. And I understand they were doing the best that they could and what they knew. But being a former athlete and just knowing how to exercise, and I knew what my body was capable of, I told them I want to do more, and they were like, "No, no, no. You have to take it slow. You got to do this. You got to do that." And I was very impatient. I was young and immature, but at the time I said, okay. And then I just never went back to outpatient therapy and just started working out on my own with my friends and getting back to where I wanted to be, because I had a goal to eventually get back to top shape and, eventually try to walk on again at the college. But after that year, I had a metal rod holding my leg together, and they took that rod out, and then I started able to walk a little bit and run a little bit here and there. Became a personal trainer at a gym and was working out every single day, and got to top form, top shape, stronger than I've ever been, faster than I've ever been. And then was talking to one of the coaches at the college, and one of the doctors, and my doctor said, "Look, I do not recommend you going back and trying out for football. You get one more hit in your head, you may not come back." And so that right there changed a lot of what I planned to do while I was in college. So I went back and started taking my classes again. And I was in one class and went to a live autopsy. Remember, my mother wanted me to be a doctor, so I went to this live autopsy, and I'm just watching, those doctors just cut into this person who had just lost their life, and I was just like, I can't. This cannot be me. I cannot stand the sight of this. So being a medical doctor was not in my future. So then I had to figure out what I wanted to do. What do you want to do with your future? And so people were saying, be an engineer. You're good at math, or, get in a business and make money, and started looking at some of those careers. And I just couldn't see myself doing that long term. And so then I remembered, back in high school, my senior year, after football season was over, one of the coaches wanted me to come in to the freshman athletic period and help them coach the freshmen. And I really enjoyed that, and just just, you know what, I want to be a coach. I want to make a difference. And I said, well, you also got to teach. And I said, well, I don't want to do PE. Nothing against PE teachers out there. I do have my certification in PE, but that's just not what I wanted to do. I did want to coach, so I had to figure out what I wanted to teach. And so I went through the gamut of different teaching opportunities or ideas of what I wanted to teach. And so they said, well, you're good at English. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I don't know if I'd love teaching it. Or you're good at math. The same thing. I was good at math, but I didn't love math. And I thought, if I wanted to teach, I wanted to teach something that I loved to teach. And I remembered something in high school where, I was in my Spanish class, and we didn't have native speaker Spanish back then, even though I knew some Spanish. So we just did regular Spanish with everybody else. And the teacher said something in class one day, and I was like, I don't think that's right. And the teacher looked at me and she said, excuse me? I said, well, I've always heard it said this way or this way. And I know different countries say things differently, but I never heard that said before to mean that. And so she looked at me and she was like, I went to school for 6 years to learn Spanish, and you're telling me that I'm wrong? And I'm like, well, I grew up speaking Spanish. It was my first language, so I know a little bit of Spanish. And she said, you know what? Go in the back and look it up. There's a dictionary over there, and then you come back and show me. And I said, okay. So I went to the back, looked it up, and came back and said, and she said, well, okay. I'm sorry. I can admit that I'm wrong. So she went on with the class, and then later in the class, she said something else. And I was like, oh, so I kind of slowly raised my hand, and she was like, what? And I was like, well, I'll just go to the back and look it up. Came back and showed it to her. She goes, you want to teach this class? And so I thought about it. So, I think I'd love being a Spanish teacher because I can introduce the culture. I know the language. They could just add more to the component of the Spanish classes. So that's what I did. I taught and I coached and moved into administration. And that is my story. I even named my son after my buddy that passed away in that accident that changed the trajectory of my life. And I know God put me here for a purpose, and I'm living that purpose. So once again, welcome to my channel, Over the Hill Fitness. I hope that you subscribe so you can watch me on my weight loss journey moving forward and to see future content. And, just like the videos, comment on the videos. I want to hear from you. And hopefully I can help you with your weight loss journey and your health goals. And then when you're ready to start, just let me know and I'll help you get there.